Hello class 5 students. We have already started the chapter the United Nations, and the other day we saw that what is United Nations. That is, it's an international organization which maintains with the primary function of maintaining peace and security in the world, and it also promotes friendly relations through cooperation among different nations and peaceful settlements of disputes. That is, these are the primary functions of the international United Nations organization. Now, the other day we saw that what were the reasons for the birth of the UN. And first of all was the massive devastation in the wars, and nobody wanted wars anymore. There was a outcry for peace, and then there was an atmosphere of mistrust among nations, and then we find that also to prevent nuclear warfare. And then we find that there were two world wars in very quick succession. That is, the First World War ended in 1918, and it was followed by the League of Nations, but the League of Nations could not bring peace in the world, and so there was the outbreak of the Second World War in the year 1939. And after this end of the war in 1945, everybody, means all the superpowers, Britain, America, France, they all wanted an organization which was far more effective, means which could effectively implement such canons, such rules and regulations which would bring a lasting peace in the world. And then we find the Atlantic Charter, and okay, we'll read about that. Winston Churchill, the former Prime Minister of Great Britain, and Franklin D. Roosevelt, the former President of United States of America, signed the Atlantic Charter on 14th August 1941. It was agreed that the basic rights of freedom and equality must be guaranteed to all nations, and peace and security should be preserved in the world. So the Atlantic Charter, which was signed between two people, first of all Winston Churchill, Prime Minister of Great Britain, and Franklin D. Roosevelt, President of United States of America. And it was signed, and it was decided that the primary function would be to ensure freedom and equality to all nations. The Atlantic Charter of the UN was signed by 50 member countries in San Francisco, USA in 1945. So this Atlantic Charter was signed in 1945 by 50 nations. Poland signed later and became one of the original 51 member states. So originally it was 50 who signed this Atlantic Charter of UN, and then Poland joined in later, and it took the number to 51. And then we find the birth of the UN, or the United Nations organization, on 24th October 1945. On 24th October 1945, United Nations Organization, or UNO, was formed to establish peace and save the world from future wars. Yes, that was the primary concern of this international organization, to prevent future wars. Today, 192 countries are part of the UN, and India joined UN on 30th October 1945. So we find that there were after the birth of UN, formation of UN on October 24, 1945, there from that time there were 192 countries. Okay, and India also joined the UN on 30th October 1945. So 24th it was formed. India just in a matter of few days it joined the United Nations organization. The UN flag depicts a world map in the middle surrounded by two olive branches, and these olive branch always suggests peace. Okay, the olive branches symbolize peace. The UN headquarters is located in New York City, USA. So where are the headquarters, where is the headquarters located of the United States? It's in New York City in the USA. Now, what are the objectives? That is the aims. Okay, that is what does it? What role does this United Nations organization play? The main objectives of the UN: to maintain peace in the world, to develop friendly relations among member countries, to achieve international cooperation in solving economic, social, cultural, and humanitarian problems, to promote respect for human rights and freedom, to help various countries in attaining the objectives of the UN, to save future generation from destructive wars. So primarily it was to maintain peace, okay, then to maintain friendly relations among the member nations, to solve international problems, okay, to achieve international cooperation in solving economic, social, and cultural and humanitarian problems, okay, all of them, and also to help various countries, means all these objectives. The UN also sees to it that all these objectives are achieved by all the member countries, that there is a 192 countries that are member of this organization, and finally to save the world from further wars, okay, to save future generations, yes, from wars, because people had understood that to what extent these wars bring in destruction. So after the objectives of UN comes the main organs of the UN, and there were as many as 6 main organs of the UN. Now we will read about them in the next class. Thank you.